Welcome, everybody, to this episode of the Pair of Kings podcast. Saul went to the river for 3 weeks and actually forgot how to speak English. So for this entire episode, it is just me filling in for both of us. He's going to learn how to speak again soon, but just not there yet. I hope you're excited to hear my voice over and over and over again, trying to do imitations of Saul. We talk about his trip to the river, or how I imagine it. We talk about how it's not okay to wear Marseille boots or any form of hiking boot unless you are hiking. We talk about how you're not allowed to wear fear of God vests unless you're willing to get shot. And that's it. Did I miss anything?
I haven't felt the touch of a woman in 26 days. Welcome to the episode, everybody.
What you gonna do with all that junk inside your trunk? I'ma get you drunk, get you love drunk off my hump, 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 my lovely little lump. Check it out.
Hi, everyone. As part of our ongoing effort to get as many people into the Hero Hero as possible, we are giving away to one lucky subscriber a brand new Lactimere bag. It is a beautiful leather. We are a big fan of what Brar and his team are doing, and we're very happy that we could give this away with Hero Hero. If you'd like a shot at winning the bag, head over to herohero.co/PoK. For $4 a month, you get free entry into all of our giveaways, early access to episodes, and access to exclusive episodes. As always, thank you so much to our subscribers. This will go out to one of those lucky subscribers on the on the Monday following the release of our Met Gala rating episode.
I have one of these bags and I use it very often, and they are wonderful. And this is actually the the improved version.
Leather feels really nice.
The leather's crazy good. It smells so nice. This is also with the hardware upgrades, so they've switched over to Riri zippers
Zips on the middle, or on the inside.
And now it's fancier zippers and better leather, and this is their, like, they had one, they sent it out into the world, they let people try it out, and then they fixed everything.
This piece of shit doesn't even have Chrome Hearts labeling. Why are we giving this away?
You're right.
That's a really nice bag. Good luck, everybody. Welcome back, everybody, to the Pair of Kings podcast. I'm your host, Saul Thompson. You can find me on Instagram at Saul Thompson.
Hi.
And I'm joined this week.
You still remember how to do that?
Yeah.
I am your co-host, Michael Smith, and you can find me on Instagram at @_Smithstagram.
I tested it. I can do it blackout drunk and the outro.
Wow.
Mm-hmm.
How many people did you make listen to that?
2.
Okay.
Yeah.
Could be worse. How
Just
do you know,
the intro.
How do you know you tested it?
I did the intro while very drunk. And then later that night, I was like, oh, I'm sure I can do the outro right now.
Oh, yeah.
I'm sure I can do the outro right now. And I did it.
Wow.
Mm-hmm.
What do you know?
So for those who may not be privy, I just got back from a 21-day Grand Canyon. 21. Nobody got that joke. I was very upset by that. And they thought it was quite strange. So I kept going 21 to myself.
Good thing it doesn't have red 21
I did a private trip down, which means it is non-commercial. The group was comprised of 4 Londoners, me, 2 old dudes for 7, and then 9 raft guides. Technically, 2 of them weren't professional raft guides, but the others were. Had a wonderful time, met some really incredible people, and wore the same, I want to say 7 items of clothing for about a month without showering. So we'll break that down.
Saul came back looking like a Red Dead Redemption character, but sounding like a Valley girl.
Yeah.
Saul got a drawl. He got some sort of accent while he was there.
When you sit and talk with people for the entire day, every day, for 21 days, I think you pick up on their affects. Also, I think I speak very aggressively because I'm very stressed all the time, and I feel very nice and relaxed right now. But I'm sure that my New York rapid fire talking will come back in about a week.
So we've got chill Saul for now.
Yeah.
Welcome to the only chill episode of Pair of Kings podcast
ever recorded.
I will be my usual dry self, and Saul will be newfound chill Saul for now.
So I'd love to talk about the river and some of the fashion that I saw there, or lack thereof.
River fashion.
I think that there's a huge untapped outdoor subculture, and I don't mean untapped in terms of like we need to go in and destroy it, but in terms of a source of fashion inspiration.
Do you know about Daiwa Pier 39?
I wore a pair of those sweatpants every night.
Daiwa Pier 39 makes sweatpants?
Yep.
For fishing in?
Mm-hmm.
Fishing sweatpants.
Mm-hmm.
Are they waterproof?
No.
And
mine smell terrible. I washed them 3 times.
Do they still smell?
They still stink.
Ooh.
Yep.
Not a good sign.
So let's do fit check first, and then I'll tell you about what a groover is.
Okay. Yes, sir.
Which is important. I'm wearing my straight gold jeans, which I missed dearly. I also lost a lot of weight, so they're a little bit bigger than I remember them. So I might need to get another pair of jeans while I put on some weight. And then I have a Dixie Chicks shirt. Now they're just the Chicks, but this was a shirt from Fuck.
A shirt from Fuck.
97, when Natalie joined the band, and the original 2 members, originally 4 Dixie Chicks, left. This was before they signed with Monument.
Wait, so how many of them were there?
4 and then 3. And they used to be a bluegrass band, which means they didn't have percussion.
Bluegrass is defined by its lack of percussion.
Country and bluegrass, as I understand it, are different in that bluegrass doesn't have percussion, while country usually does.
Oh.
Mm-hmm.
Weird.
Yeah. Listen to a lot of bluegrass, a lot of country, a lot of the Grateful Dead, which I wasn't crazy about.
Yeah, not so sure about that one.
A lot of Billy Strings, who's a bluegrass jam band guy, who's quite talented.
Cool.
Mm-hmm. He won, I believe, a Grammy for a live album, which is quite remarkable.
Yes. Interesting. Billy Strings.
Billy Strings.
Shout out Billy Strings.
Big shout out to Billy Strings.
Today I am wearing Troubled Waters pants.
No way.
Yeah.
I thought these were Rick.
No, Troubled Waters. They're like a cold dyed, very lightweight. I don't know what kind of pant. Just a big old trouser.
Where'd you get these?
It's got like the Mark Boudelier gave them to me.
Oh,
because he never wears them. They've got like the boxing waistband. They're fun. They're just kind of light, flowy pants for when it's hot as shit. And I am also wearing a I think 90s Cannibal Corpse t-shirt.
I'm very disappointed. I thought these were waxed, but they're not.
I think they are gently waxed.
Okay.
They're coated in some way because they're not quite cotton. They're not just cotton. I don't know. And then they're like cold dyed, so the dye is like a little splotchy and like misses a lot of the creased parts.
Huge shout out to Polo.
Shout out Polo.
That's pants.
They got new stuff coming out that looks pretty cool.
Damn.
They made a like bulletproof vest style vest.
Cool.
Which is like I can't condone because I've seen
It's a little corny.
too many bricks. But I did see Polo in it and I was like, oh damn it. It looks good.
There's a lot. I remember Fear of God back in the day.
Yep.
Came out with a bulletproof vest.
Yep.
Seeing a lot of white boys walking around New York City in the Fear of God bulletproof
Oh,
vest.
absolutely. It's like that and a pair of joggers.
And thinking it was still stupid back then.
Oh, so it's always been corny.
Get a plate carrier, you cowards.
I think aesthetically a plate carrier is maybe even cornier.
Just to prove that I haven't left, I think if you're wearing a bulletproof vest,
You should get shot.
you should get to test it
Yeah.
one time.
Yeah.
And if it doesn't work, that's kind of on you.
Yeah, I mean, you wore the vest, man.
Yep.
You were kind of asking for it.
If you're wearing Jordans and you get past a ball,
You better jump from the free throw line.
I was going to just say you better be able to make a shot.
No, I think you got to dunk from the free throw line or you cannot wear Jordans. That's the move he's doing.
Well, no, you should have to try.
Fair enough.
If you fail, that's fine.
If you fail, I take your Jordans.
If you take a 22 to the chest, You can walk it off.
22 it's tiny. It's little.
I don't want to hurt anybody.
Yeah, no, that's what I mean. Like, you'll be fine. A fear of God bulletproof vest could probably stop at 22.
You know what really put the fear of God into you?
A 22?
Buckshot.
A buckshot. A deagle.
So I do want to make it clear to all the audio listeners, I have a beard.
A huge beard. Wait, I'm not done talking about bulletproof vests.
Oh, apologies.
Rick
I'd love to
Owens
hear-
made one.
Oh, I do remember this with the do-rags.
The
the white boys and
season,
do-rags.
the season with the white boy do rag and the bulletproof vest and the leather basketball shorts.
He's never understood the white man so well.
One of his best, honestly.
Mm-hmm. Wait, was that Moody?
Yeah, it was Moody. That is one of my all-time favorite seasons.
21 days on the. Oh, you love a white boy do-rag, of course.
Well, you'd never catch me in the do
They're
rag.
pretty good.
It would not also fit me. Like, I could not fit my hair in one of those. I'd look like Megamind.
Michael Smith, wave check.
I mean,
Your hair does look great.
yeah.
Did you just wash it?
I did. I washed it this morning. It's clean.
Looks amazing.
It smells nice.
I did not wash my hair for 18 days
That's insane.
on the river.
I don't think I could actually do that.
And the amount of sand and minerals in the water made my hair into one big bunch.
Yes.
It all just stuck together, and I couldn't run my hand through my hair. And then I washed it, and the difference in texture was so radical that I thought I'd lost my hair. Keep in mind, there's no mirrors out there.
Yes.
So I didn't know I looked like this until I got back.
You're not staring at your reflection in the water like Narcissus.
Not like Narcissus, unfortunately.
If I don't wash my hair for, I think once we hit the 5th day on regular, just out here, normal, it starts to clump up and I cannot run my hands through it. Damn. So, and then when I detangle it, when I'm in the shower trying to like brush my fingers through it, it all clumps up and rips out. So I would have to shave my head if I did the trip that you just did, and that is not an exaggeration.
Swimming cap?
Just full-time swimming cap?
Yeah.
Maybe.
One of the guides named Chris, lovely dude. I guess I can say it. Largest penis I've ever seen. Not a joke. Big shout to Crispy. Had pretty long curly hair, sort of like yours, and it started to get pretty dready.
Yeah.
At a certain point.
Yeah, it gets foul.
Yeah.
I don't think I can handle it.
He sort of looked like you and Jacob, Etchy Chad, had a kid.
Oh. Wow. How was it?
It was lovely. I didn't really miss my phone, if at all.
Saul didn't know that the Pope died until
Didn't know Kanye sucked his cousin's penis.
allegedly.
He tweeted it himself.
He tweeted it himself, but are you taking Kanye West as a reliable narrator?
That's an interesting question. He's so vehement about all of his opinions, one must assume he wouldn't say something like that. I also think you've got to have a pretty crazy imagination to come up with that.
I think pretty crazy is the strong emphasis here.
You make a good point.
I leave it. I'm not
choosing to believe.
Okay. You would like that. You would like for that to be true.
For his cousin's sake, no. Just for something funny for me to have missed, yes.
Okay. I mean, I think missing that he claimed it is also funny.
True.
But
Fair enough.
also the Pope died.
Dog got elected.
A dog got elected.
Imagine somebody texting me, Leo's the Pope. And I'm like, how do you finagle that? He's Jewish.
Is he?
I mean, have you seen his nose? One must assume.
I no comment.
Great.
Tell me why that's funny.
Jews often have large noses. Was that unclear?
No, carry on.
Okay. Had a wonderful time on the river. So Groover.
A groover.
Is a box that you shit in. for 21 days.
Oh, I've had those before.
And you all share them. And one of the boats is the shit boat. The problem is you start smelling like Groover on like day 3 and you go nose blind to it. I noticed this on day 16 when we did a hike up to a place called Mooney Falls. It's a 13-mile round trip hike up this slot canyon. It's beautiful. You go by Beaver Falls, which is one of the most picturesque places I've ever been in my life. It looks like something out of Avatar. Mm-hmm. They're these sort of stacked and offset infinity pools that all flow into one another. It's absolutely beautiful. Mooney Falls, another 6 miles up, and it is part of the Hawalupai, I think it is, resort reservation, and credit to them. To get on and to stay there is a minimum 4-day permit, $300 a night a person, and you have to camp, or you could pay for the hotel, which I understand is about $600 a night.
Damn.
And they have limited permits, and it's always booked out because of how beautiful it is. You can go up to Mooney if you don't get caught, but going past that, bad form. So we went up to Mooney, and I kept walking by people, and not only would they give us a really wide berth, but they smelled really good from a distance. And I started walking by and loudly remarking to the people I was with, oh, they smelled good. And they said, stop saying that. And it hit me after like person number 6 that I was the one that smelled like shit. And people could smell me coming.
Pause.
And it's incredibly sobering to realize that you, 1, literally smell like shit, 2, have 16 days worth of grime and sunscreen stacked on you, and 3, are unaware of it. I was pretty vigilant about jumping in the river, but poop smell sticks on you. And that's something I've always criticized.
Why did you have to carry? I guess you have to carry the shit box with you because pack it in, pack it out, right?
Mm-hmm,
you can't just leave shit around.
Leave no trace.
But poop? Animals poop, right?
Yeah, but you don't want animals frequenting the campsites. It's also a lot of poop. We filled up, I think, 8 Groovers total, and they're pretty big ammo cans. So it's a lot of poop.
And where does that go when you bring it back?
There are special processing sites that were set up, as I understand it, in the 80s, specifically for Groovers.
This is my worst nightmare.
Mm-hmm.
I don't think I could ever do the thing you just did.
So I got really comfortable in a way that I've never been. 1, being naked around people. I was just like, fuck it, I'm changing. Like, I'm not going to go and find space. Like, everybody here is seeing my ass. Everybody here is seeing my penis. Yeah, it's just the way it's going to be.
That is camping.
I think I saw everybody naked on that trip, including a 66-year-old man twice. I think everybody at one point saw almost everybody else pooping, which is more vulnerable than seeing
It was so
someone
much
naked.
worse. I personally don't really care if anybody sees me naked.
Yeah.
I've been to public bathhouses and stuff, but I would not poop in
front
of pretty much anybody.
I poorly one night picked the campsite directly above the Groover. Did not realize until I couldn't sleep because of the smell. And I was too lazy to move, so I slept in the poop smell. I hope this is entertaining for everybody. I'm just admitting stuff now.
We've gotten to the confessions portion of Saul's return.
I think people I sleep with listen to this podcast, so that might end. I'm so sorry. What else is going on with me and the river? What other disgusting admissions can I give to you? The food, really good until day like 18 when we ran out of meat, and it's just like whatever shit we could scrounge.
That's a lot of food to carry along for 16 people for 21 days.
7 coolers full. And then day boxes full. So coolers just full of perishables.
Mm-hmm.
And then day boxes, which are the size of the Groovers, full of the dry goods.
If you got stranded, do you think you'd eat someone?
Ooh, no. I was very successful in catching fish, and we did that for dinner one night.
Oh, that's really cool.
Mm-hmm. Caught
That's
rainbow
cute.
trout.
It's like you wouldn't do a whatever that South American flight over the snowy mountains was.
No, the one, the rugby players.
Yes.
Could have also said Lord of the Flies. Oh, no, they just kill somebody. They don't eat them.
I never read Lord of the Flies.
Read a lot of books while I was out there. I read The Emerald Mile, which is a history of the Grand Canyon and the fastest run through it. Incredibly disappointing book. It's like 400 and something pages, and the summary of the fastest run through the Grand Canyon is like, they did it fast. End.
How fast? What's a run through the Grand Canyon?
230 miles, I
Like a
believe?
literal run?
No, rowing.
Did they do it in one shot?
3 dudes did it in 34 hours.
So one shot.
Yeah.
That's crazy.
I read Some People Need Killing, which was a pretty comprehensive
That's true.
history of Rodrigo Duterte's reign over the Philippines. Incredible book. I had no idea that their president was killing people.
Neither did I.
Over 70,000 people he had killed as president, I believe. And then even more when he was mayor of a town called...
I'm sorry. The mayor has...
He was a mayor of a
Yes.
town called, I believe it was Davao.
Davao?
When he was the mayor, he endorsed extrajudicial killings or used his police force to go and kill people in their homes who were suspected of being involved in drugs. And then he was elected president and made it very clear he would continue that practice as president, and then did it as president.
Electing the guy who says he's going to keep killing people. Not
The book explores some of the psychology of the people that voted for him. Very interesting. Sort of a parallel to the poem First They Came for the whatever, so on and so forth. A lot of people, like, these are people in society that are actively destroying it. President Duterte did a really good job on the campaign trail of villainizing a lot of people who were involved in drugs. He used a story of a man who sexually assaulted a baby as sort of a straw man argument for anybody who dealt or used drugs. And it's written by Patricia Evangelista, who was a beat reporter reporting on the killings. And so there are a lot of really personal stories as opposed to the media, which was just reporting on the bodies as a body was found. Incredible book.
Have you ever read 2666?
No.
I think you would love this
We're
book.
a fashion podcast. I'm so
Fuck.
sorry, everyone.
I will.
Lend me that book.
Yes.
Sounds great.
I need to see if I still own it.
River fashion.
River fashion.
Let's talk about...
I hardly... river.
Oh, sure.
River... anyways, carry on.
So it's really interesting being out there. You're in a desert. Temperatures get up to about 105. Pretty hot.
Pretty
and
hot.
if you jump in the water, it's fed from a dam. And the water is about 45 to 50 degrees. So it's pretty cold.
Pretty cold.
And if you jump back and forth, it's really hard to regulate your temperature because you're either freezing cold or burning hot. So I started out, I was very worried I wouldn't bring enough sunscreen. I didn't bring enough sunscreen. So I worked backwards, and I figured I had 4 days at the end to go shirtless and essentially in short shorts, try and get a tan. And all the other days, I dressed like a fucking dweeb, which was basically hiking shirt, hiking pants, hiking socks, water shoes, and a big old hat.
The biology major outfit.
Exactly.
Hell yeah.
So as opposed to the wonderfully dressed river guides who would wear either fishing shorts and no shirt, one one of the most kind river guides, who I think I picked up my affect from, was named Josh, or is named Josh. He's still alive.
Good.
He wore a vintage Portland Trailblazers Brandon Roy jersey that looked like it had been through a war. It was the coolest jersey I've ever seen.
Cool.
I wouldn't have been shocked to see some loser in Brooklyn selling it for $200. I'm not kidding. A lot of cutoff shorts. A lot of what are the fishing brands? Not Ardent. It's Coco Tat was one of them.
Coco Tat?
Mm-hmm. They make PFDs, life preservers. NRS, which is another brand, and then Astral was the third one. And I was really surprised at the use and variety that a lot of the river guides wore. Nobody dressed the exact same, even though the brands were somewhat similar. And it's also pretty astounding they kept their gear in good condition. I have a pair of Salomon hiking boots that I would just wear in and out and in and out and in and out of the water. And the rapid changes in temperature and also the really quick drying just ate the glue that have the shoes together. I've had those shoes for now 4 years, and they were in pretty good condition going into that trip. And now almost any piece of plastic that was glued is now popping off.
Pop off, queen.
Crazy. Your hands get fucking destroyed. Michael can see, but my fingers are really white and scaly. And on day 3 or 4, they just started cracking everywhere. It's really hard to stay moisturized, really hard to stay protected from the sun. As a pasty white boy from the Northeast, I really struggled. I am not stronger than the sun. So huge shout out to Koa. I used a lot of their sunscreen, and I didn't burn once, which is pretty incredible. What else is river fashion? I found it really interesting because hiking, we came across a lot of hikers. They look like fucking dweebs. I really think gorpcore people look really fucking stupid now. You step out, you're completely covered. I guess it makes sense if it's raining, but I did a run through the rain. I did it in shorts and shirtless. That was more fun than anything else.
You
Just
mean
get wet?
Like fashion gorpcore people?
Yeah,
Because there's, there's genuine applications of gorpcore, and then there's
I'll call it out.
Okay.
I think Marseille boots, those leather hiking boots, are some of the dumbest things I've ever seen.
Okay.
I don't think they function as actual hiking boots, and it's really a shame that guys are spending a lot of money on a pair of boots they can't hike in.
Marseille?
Yeah.
SEILLE,
I believe.
Wait, these people make hiking shoes?
Yeah, look up hiking. I think they're pretty popular. That's them.
This is just because I think Marseille just wants to be Guidi.
Yeah.
And Guidi makes a hiking boot, but I would never tell anybody to hike in it.
It's so weird. It's like buying a full leather baseball bat. What are you doing with that? And you walk around in Williamsburg, Brooklyn, looking like a fucking chump.
I feel like these are very clearly I wear basketball shoes all the time, but not ones I would ever play basketball in.
I think that with shoes that are really built for function, like hiking boots, they should at least be slightly functional.
But this is just copying the aesthetics of a hiking boot, but it's not a hiking boot.
It's a weird pantomime to me. And I think one of the things that rubs me the wrong way about it is that I really enjoy hiking. It's something I sort of lost touch with over the past year living in New York City. But I went on a hike, I'd say every third day, probably over 6 miles on average. And the joy you get from just being outside and walking is incredible. It's very freeing. I didn't bring my phone. I just went and I looked at trees and I looked at rocks and I looked at the river and climbed rocks. And I was like, this is so incredible. And it is genuinely weird to me that you could wear a pair of hiking boots, replicas or not, and not feel at least some sort of desire to just go on a walk.
I think that fashion is often devoid of the thing it references, and I think that's okay.
I think
I'm wearing basketball shorts and basketball shoes, and I have no urge to hold a basketball.
I feel like if I'm wearing running shoes, I want to go running, and if I'm wearing basketball shoes, I kind of want to play some basketball.
Yeah, but I don't think that's fashion. I think I don't think. See, like I'm wearing. Like, yes, maybe if I was wearing running shoes, actual running shoes, I would feel weird not running. If I'm wearing fashion adjacent, a fashion related tribute to running shoes, you would think I was weird for running in them.
You're not wrong, and I would agree with that.
Like Balenciaga tracks. You see a guy, like Balenciaga tracks are cool.
But those aren't built for function. I'm talking about
these aren't built for function. These Marseilles are not built for function.
But they pantomime as they are.
So do tracks.
Yeah, I'd say tracks and those are different in my brain. Tracks are like costume shoes. Those are not costume shoes. If those shoes had like a spring sole, like a Balenciaga expander, I'd be like, that's silly. I'm not going to be upset about that.
If these shoes did not have speed hooks, you would just think they were regular boots.
Yeah, and that's okay. I don't think
you just don't like speed hooks?
I don't like speed. It's just something about, and again, this is a personal opinion. If you're wearing, Salomon Speed Cross or whatever the shoe is, and you're not hiking, I'm not going to show up to your house and hurt you.
I am.
I might shoot you if you're wearing that Air for your God.
Exactly.
Bulletproof vest.
We're back to this.
But my point is, I think that there's a lot of conversation about fashion right now, and the sort of like fashion locust swarm where something is found cool because it's authentic. Everybody in fashion descends on it, and then it gets diluted, and the original doesn't reference the ship of Theseus, right? You replace all of it. Is it still a hiking boot?
I currently have a pair of hiking boots that I wear very often and would not go hiking in.
I would say those are like luxury hiking boots.
I think you just don't like Marseille.
I think that you should go hiking in those boots.
I'd think about it. Probably kill me, but I'd try it.
So I read Emily, I think Sundberg's Please Feed Me. Very nice girl who I'm talking to, but not in a flirty way. I don't know how to say that without it sounding weird. Sent it over. And a common theme that came up were men who look to older men as style influences. And I think that phenomenon is really interesting because a lot of those old guys that you see on the subway that are killing it, are just roaming around your neighborhood, are not dressing in a disingenuous way. That's shit they've owned for a long time.
This is what sprezzatura actually is.
Exactly. So I think my being weirded out by things like Marseille boots, or I'll focus on those just as an example, or the Fear of God bulletproof vest, is it feels like you're pantomiming or trying to get like a quick release rather than committing and doing something that's genuinely really fun. Like,
I think that, and I there are things where I agree with you on this, but I think that actual functional hiking boots do not look good in an outfit.
Salomon hiking boots are the ones that went viral on TikTok that guys are wearing with, Arc'teryx jackets.
That I think is bad. The Marseille ones are black leather and like a weird oversized toe box and like a widened lacing placket. So they're not, I don't think they look good. I think they're kind of ugly.
I do,
but
ugly.
I don't think that I need the person wearing them to go hiking. I just need the person wearing them to leave.
That's very fair. Could I continue this line of thinking to something that I think you'd agree with me on, which is why, in particular, I really dislike Bodhi.
Let's fucking go.
Yeah, I think it's a very good example. But Emily Bodhi has done a fantastic job of commodifying the like inauthentic, authentic experience.
Yes.
Everything is handmade. Everything is customized. Everything is hand drawn, but you didn't do it. And
Yeah.
it means nothing. Like the senior core jackets, which if you look at the origins of them, and it's very clear, I'm not like doing a fashion deep dive here. Your friends would draw on them for you, and I'm sure you get a penis on the lining somewhere.
It's meant to be like a yearbook.
Exactly. She has a team of professional artists making $1,400 jackets, custom made for people, where you fill in what you want on the jacket.
Yeah. Well, you tell someone
Exactly.
what you want, and they draw it for you.
I think that is so pathetic in a way that's really disappointing, where you can buy a Carhartt jacket, you could buy a Carhartt Whip corduroy jacket, and if Michael texted me and said, hey, I really want a custom pair of corduroy pants where all of my friends come and draw on them.
They do what?
Come and draw on them?
Both?
I'm getting a pair of corduroy pants and I want my friends to draw on them?
There you go.
Sorry.
Come and draw on them.
Oh, fuck. Well done. I love that. But if you said, hey, I'm having a wine night, I'm going to have 80 Sharpies there and everybody's just going to draw on my pants, I'd come running. That'd be such a fun night.
Respectfully, I don't trust most of my friends to draw on anything that I would end up wearing.
Is that not the whole fun of it?
Yeah, it's true. But also, I'd never wear a Bodhi.
And think about how much
Senior
worse we'd be if we were in high school,
Oh, yeah.
right?
Oh, yeah.
So
I've seen the scene core vans where you like everyone like you draw shit on them and they're held together by duct tape and like
it's just it's one of those things where me personally, I write on my Substack about used clothes and how much I love them. That's one of my things. I adore clothes that people have worn to shit, or even if you buy them used and continue wearing them in. The guy Josh found that jersey in a lost and found bin. He didn't make it like that, but he wore it for 4 years, right? I think any article of clothing that you wear in yourself and take care of and take the time to say, hey, I want it to fit this way. The crotch is rubbing me in a weird way or the hems are dragging, whatever, will always look better than the Bodhi cord.
that
A million times.
easily 100%.
So my point is, don't be pathetic and sad. Go and have a passion. Go and have a passion for the things you wear and have a respect for the things you wear and the things you do. And use your clothing as a medium to go and do that.
If somebody bought the Marseille leather hiking boots that are not meant to be hiked in and beat the shit out of them walking to and from Variety Coffee with a little notebook in their pocket every day, I would think it looked good.
Yeah, as would I. I was going to say, that'd be great. If you're standing against a fucking brick wall outside of Variety Coffee taking your fit pics, I'm going to talk shit about it on my podcast.
Well, the thing is, but that guy standing outside Variety Coffee taking fit pics might have only owned them for a week. Things have to be new at some point.
I'm going to start getting in those comments.
I see someone.
When did you buy these?
How old are those? How old are those? You clean those every week? Let them get dirty.
I think if the whole outfit's new, you look like a weekend warrior. And you can look like a weekend warrior in fucking Marseille boots and artisanally cut pants and a Devoa pair of cargo pants. You can look like a weekend warrior in anything.
I think there is something inherently deeply embarrassing about wearing brand new raw denim. There's because
it does scream I've never been fucked before in a way that
not even I think all raw denim screams that. But sorry. I made the raw denim community a little mad while you were gone.
Did you?
Yeah.
How so?
I made
finish your thought.
Okay. So something about wearing wearing brand new raw denim is embarrassing between me and the other people who have never been fucked before because they think I'm new to this. Sure. You know, like I'm there and stiff, still got the crease from the being folded on the shelf, 21-ounce jeans, and they're like, that's this guy's first time.
How do you know a guy who's won a jean fading competition has entered the room?
He'll tell you.
He'll tell you.
So that was part of. So the way that I made the raw denim community mad while you were gone was a silly joke that a lot of them misunderstood.
That's most
As it
of
always
internet
goes.
interaction.
And it was like
Correct.
a slow motion video of me. I put on my full raw denim outfit, like my award winning 24 ounce PBJ 24-005 denim jeans that are the
He'll
number
tell
one.
ya.
They're the first picture when you Google search raw denim.
Oh, still?
Still,
Wow.
baby. And then like a white T-shirt and canvas jacket. Are you fact checking?
Yeah. I'm just curious.
Am I the first on your phone? I am on my phone.
Just raw denim?
Just raw denim. Let's
That
go,
you
baby.
are. Well done. The Heddles article.
So I'm their picture for what is raw denim. Look up raw denim in the dictionary. It's my jeans, baby. Anyways,
impressive.
so it's a slow motion video of
pretty
me
good.
in that outfit falling to my knees and like screaming. And
Okay.
it says me, parentheses, 2 times award-winning raw denim fading champion, seeing a whole new generation of people misunderstand selvage.
Oh, like just the edge of fabric?
Just the concept. And I was,
Okay.
which you got immediately. I was talking, it's mostly about the fact that like you see people on the internet, I don't care what pants they're talking about like conflating self-edge with raw.
You're saying self-edge, but yes.
Selvage.
Yeah.
French, selvage. Selvage with raw.
Yeah.
Where it's like not all raw denim, like selvage denim is not the thing that fades. It's raw denim.
My personal favorite is when indigo gets confused into that mix.
Yes. Classic.
They're jeans, dog. They're
They're
dyed with
jeans.
indigo.
Not always.
Not always. There's some really cool dyes at Self-Edge right now. They had a mud dye. Then they had a double black dye that fade to black. Really cool.
Double black fades to black?
Mm-hmm.
What do you mean? How?
Pair of black on black jeans. And instead of fading to a gray, they just get beat up.
Oh, it's the Pure Blue Japan Never Fade ones. Yeah,
Mhm.
they don't fade to black; they just don't fade.
Really impressive.
Yeah, they're cool. Those have been
Really
around for a long time, actually.
Yeah.
And then so the thing, there were a bunch of people in the comments
Yeah.
saying like, "Oh, it doesn't have to be skinny to be good." I'm like, I know, I don't care.
I wear boot cuts.
I wear boot cuts. No, he's like, it doesn't. It's because I think people saw me in my like skin tight raw denim from 10 years ago, and were like, he's saying that it's not really selvage unless it's not baggy.
Skinny.
But no, I think the favorite quote of all time is that one of the guys in the comments said, "I watch multiple hour-long raw denim live streams every week." Couldn't fucking torture that out of me.
He needs to get fucked so
Needs
bad.
to get fucked so
Listen,
bad.
It could be by anybody. It could
doesn't
be by
matter.
anything, whatever you're into. If you're watching weekly raw denim fading streams,
I don't think it's a fading stream. I don't even understand. I don't know what there is to. I don't know.
hear me out. Salt Lake City, zipper sparking fade competition.
Zipper
Walk with
sparking
me.
fade competition.
That is dry humping in jeans.
Salt Lake City because of the Mormons.
Yeah.
Yeah. Okay.
Pretty good.
Pretty good. Most action those people see in their lifetime.
I don't know. I feel like once they tie the knot, like 13 kids,
So well, fair enough.
they figure it out at a certain point.
I don't mean. Oh, I'm not talking about the Mormons.
Oh,
The raw denim people.
Yeah.
Yeah. They're not seeing anything.
It's pretty bad.
While you've been gone,
Sure.
I have made no changes. I have not grown.
Sick.
I have continued in my what would be the word? Hedonistic ways.
You're just pursuing your desires?
I've been buying stuff.
Oh, what have you been buying?
So I've had 3. I've had 3 in the last week. 3 things that I bought that showed up and were disappointing.
Oh, it's at that stage of consumerism.
Well, I've been trying to snag deals, and I think that's my problem. Disappointing is not actually the correct thing. So I bought Orto Parisi perfume that showed up today and was fake.
The one. I wear.
The ones Saul wears. Well, you're out of it, and I'm gonna get a bottle.
I got
Eventually.
the better version. I got the Isabel Moser version, the limited one of one from Commune.
Does it smell like that?
It smells like the ocean. It's
Oh,
pretty
I met
good.
Toskavat guy.
Whoa!
I met him.
Where?
He was doing a pop up here.
What the fuck? You didn't tell me that.
I forgot.
How is he?
He's
Seems
so
like
nice.
a super nice guy.
Absolute angel.
Fuck.
I was at the commune pop up for all the British shit. They did a British takeover.
Gun to my head.
Yeah, I wouldn't
You
do it.
couldn't force me to interact with a Brit.
Yeah. Well,
I got a joke about Brits. You want to hear it?
no. It's my people, bro. We need to unpack back one layer up and then another layer up to get back to where we were before we got derailed twice.
I'm so sad I missed the Toskavat guy.
So I was at a British pop-up at Commune. Yeah. And Isabel Moser was there, and I was talking to her.
She's so sweet.
She's so sweet.
Lovely girl.
I was talking to her about her new fragrance, and it's really good. It smells like tea. I
Ooh.
said that I would like to drink it, but I wouldn't wear it because it's
Herbal
not evil
or-
enough, like herbal.
Okay.
Really good. It's like a very white tea kind of.
In a candle or a...
It's a
cologne.
perfume.
I love a gourmand smell.
I don't.
One of my friends suspects it's because I have an eating disorder.
Well.
You can laugh at that. That's funny.
Yes, sir. And then I was talking to her about it, and she said, "Oh, you know that guy's in town, right? Toskavat at a pop-up, like a quarter of a mile down the street. He was just at a perfume shop doing a pop-up with all of his.
The one at the bottom of
perfumes.
Orchard Street with all the candles.
No, the one in Soho. It's on Mott Street. It's called
Scent Bar?
Ace. We've never been to it. It's a newer one.
Oh.
It's got like crazy shit you never seen.
Whoa.
It's like almost exclusively. It's not as like
doing tricks on it there?
Yeah, they're doing tricks on it. It's not as like overwhelmingly stocked as Scent Bar.
Yeah.
Much more minimal. Really cool. And I got there for the last 5 minutes of the pop up, but I got to say hi to him. He's a little sweetie pie.
We
really
blew him
nice.
up a little bit.
A little bit.
Did you tell him that?
He also got he knows. He knows us.
I just want to show up and dap him up.
Yeah.
And then pitch him on a fragrance.
Oh. What
I
fragrance?
really want one that smells like the Grand Canyon. Because you smell so musky because you don't shower in 21 days. But you smell all the plants and all the birds and sort of like crushed grass. And it smells incredible even though you smell like shit. I think he can make something really special out of that. Because all of his scents are based on memories.
Yeah.
And I think that that'd be really cool.
Yeah. Next time he's gone back.
You can't message people on the internet anymore. That's not allowed.
Can't message people on the internet. It's
Only
just
in
not allowed.
person.
You just can't message people.
If you guys try and talk to me online, I'm not going to talk to you. If you want to shoot your shot, you approach me in person. You give my family a dowry. That's the way it's working now.
If you want to join the Discord, message us and tell us your dowry for marrying Saul.
Mm-hmm. I will not be the one responding. No.
I bought Orta Parisi perfume that turned out to be fake. I bought a Thom Browne suit for $100. Hell of a
Pretty
deal.
good.
Hell of a deal.
It's pretty good.
It's quite worn in, which is fine. Well, actually, the outside is in perfect condition, but the inside of the lining
armpits?
has like a... No, armpits are fine.
Really?
The inside of the lining, like right here, has like a chunk taken out of it. Fuck. And I don't know what that is. Couldn't tell you what happened. The rest of the jacket looks borderline unworn.
Squirrel.
The pants
Okay.
have been tapered 2 inches
Just at the hem.
from like the top down. They are so skinny, I cannot bend down to tie my shoes.
Did they leave the fabric?
Yes, sir.
Oh, thank Christ.
But it
Okay,
was like
good news.
I bought $100 Thom Browne
Yeah, all's
suit.
well that ends well.
Crazy. I had to get it shipped from England. Unfortunate.
Send it back.
Send it back. Like I had to. It was a British eBay, and they would not send to America, so I had to send it to my friend in England and then get him to send it to me. So that is a problem I'm going to fix.
Okay.
And then I bought a pair of Kapital Century jeans.
Oh, the black on blacks?
Well, kind of.
Not the type 8s.
The nines.
Oh,
O9s.
That's what I said.
Which the O9 is the most expensive pair of Kapital Century jeans. They are $700 in America. The Japanese retail is probably still like $350.
I'm walking around with that price tag on.
Yeah.
I'm not taking that shit off.
If you buy-
you're gonna know I paid $700 for
You're
those
going to know I got
jeans.
fucking ripped off by an
Correct.
American proxy.
Correct.
If you...
Blue and green Soho.
So I've done a lot of looking into Century jeans lately. It's been my current like hobby obsession.
Leg holes or waist hole? Let it sit.
It's sitting. I just don't like it.
Fair enough.
I'm just not going to give you that.
Fair enough.
There's a hole in your shirt. Yeah, that's how I put it on.
There's 4 holes in your shirt.
There's actually a lot more than 4. This is vintage, by the way. This is a Cannibal Corpse shirt from the 90s. It's got a lot of holes in it. Boop. So
You put those there yourself?
No.
Nancy boy.
Nancy boy. Got soft hands, brother.
You got soft hand, brother.
I have been on a deep dive into Century Denim, and the most common like brown ones, the real cowboy looking ones, those are $150.
You're kidding.
Retail in Japan.
Okay.
300, 350-ish, 400 in America.
What's the cut?
Bad.
Same.
Oh, bad.
Okay.
Fucking bad. Every pair of Century jeans is cut
Really
like
bad
shit.
cut.
For the record. I'm a 28 waist.
Sure.
A size 30 in Century jeans fits my waist a little painfully.
Do they let out?
They would probably stretch eventually.
Okay.
A size 32 finally fits my waist. Just absolutely like haggard giant amount of fabric around my ass.
Yeah, I do remember I need a 36 and I tried them on a blue and green.
Yeah, and they just
fit
there's
like
no
shit.
and then they taper way too much. Like they're only good honestly if you hem them to a crop. Cuz you see people who look good in them, it's cuz they're cropped. And it probably wouldn't work for you cuz at regular length they're probably still pretty short on you.
How tall am I?
5'9".
Correct.
And
And ladies, I'm single.
So they taper like drastically right when they get down to the bottom, and it looks so bad on everything. Anyways, I'm still determined to get a pair and make them work. I think I find them to be my challenge. So
there's a beautiful photo of the apricot ones that have been faded. And if you can really get the fades on those, where you're
So
really
good.
busting up the thighs, they look gorgeous.
Have you seen how the black ones fade?
Yeah, they almost look like crushed velvet
Maybe.
with that like weird broken texture. You know how like costume velvet will start breaking off?
Yeah, so the black ones in particular are made with linen threads instead of cotton threads.
Oh.
So the thread goes it's like a mud dyed they do a mud dye and then they do a there's another chemical in like fruit or something that interacts with tannins and oxidizes them and turns them very dark.
The fruits I know are always taking chemicals. I go clubbing in New York.
So I don't remember what it is, but it's actually, I think it might be some of the same stuff we use to oxidize the wood on the Kozaburo pop-up.
Yep.
Anyways, they mud dye the threads first, and then they use this second dye that like oxidizes the tannins for the base denim, and then the woven sashiko threads are just mud dyed brown. So it's like double black. Practically black. It's so dark brown that it's practically black with like brown threads. And the threads, because they're linen dyed, don't hold dye very well and go white super fast.
Oh.
And then break super fast.
Yep.
Super fast relatively.
Yep.
So you get like beautifully faded like black to gray denim with like weird patches of polka dot almost.
Yeah.
They look so
I think
good.
I have seen these. I think it's really interesting that these looks, especially on things like Century Denim, bring this back to an earlier conversation, can only be achieved if you wear the fuck out of these jeans.
Yes.
And I think Century Denim kind of look like shit when they're new.
they're okay, but they're not great. And I want to. So look, this guy on Reddit has worn his to
Those
absolute
are
death.
fucking amazing.
They look so good, and like
gorgeous.
they even start to look like they fit good.
Oh, go back.
Those are the skinny cut. They're even worse.
God, damn, that's bad.
So like Century Denim just looks bad.
Do you have a folder called Century Denim on your computer?
Because I've been on a quest, and that's what I'm keeping. I'm keeping pictures.
I love you.
The black ones look so good when they are beat up.
Beautiful.
So I have bought a pair of these.
Okay.
And the reason, and it's very difficult to find someone selling these on the internet that isn't, it's not $500.
Yeah.
And part of my quest and part of the joy of it is that I don't want to own it as much as I want to
find it for a good deal.
Find it. I want to, the deal hunting I know is part of the process.
You don't want to play in the game. You just want to dunk.
Yes. Cool. And I found, and the thing is like, I would not wear these that often. They'd probably become my house pants. Because I wear a lot of jeans around the house.
I wear jeans around the
while
house.
I'm working. And eventually they would start to look really good and then I'd be comfortable wearing them outside so I look less unfucked. The pair of these that I bought was $150. Do you want to know why?
Oh, they've been tailored.
How do you think?
I'm guessing they're a size 30.
Nope, they are 32.
I was going to guess 30 with extra fabric on the inside of the legs to be flares.
Honestly, that would probably look way better than anything Kapital has ever done.
Well, you know about their Flare Star competition. That was super cool.
What was that?
They did a competition, I think back in 2020 or 2019. They held a competition for the person that could bring in the widest flared pants.
So sick.
So if you look up Kapital Flare Star, you have a photo of this girl who's essentially wearing 2 skirts as a pair of shorts. If I didn't know better, or it happened today, I would not be shocked to see our friend Charlie pull up in 2 skirts sewn into a pair of pants.
Super sick.
Charlie is one of the best dressed people I've ever met. They
Absolutely
are so sick.
But
can I see what they did to your pants?
Yes. So the pants are in pretty good condition.
That's pretty good.
They're well maintained. They seem like they haven't been worn that much. The creases are not set in, but they cut open. They cut a 2 to 3 inch cut up the side of both legs. Now, on the outseam of one of them,
what the fuck?
They were nice enough to do it by cutting the threads. On the outseam of the other one, they did the threads, but they kind of missed, so they cut a little bit of that. On the inseam, they missed the. They did it also asymmetrically. They on one of them, you know how when you sew jeans, they pinch together into that T shape. Part of them, they just cut the T off. They did my
circumcision like this.
They just cut this part off.
Interesting.
And then the other pair, they just cut a line about 1/4 of an inch away from the.
I think if you Boro stitch them, they'll look really cool.
So here's the thing: is that I have them. They have arrived. I have fixed the outseams almost seamlessly, perfectly. They look great.
Well, you'd hope they'd have seams in them.
Well, metaphorically,
you can kill me
euphemistically, I would like to. And then I am ordering gray iron-on denim, and I'm going to fix as best as I can the inside. But
beautiful.
I found something out.
Okay.
This is the 2022 version of these jeans. You may notice it is not double black denim.
No.
This is the original version, which honestly, I
might have been built better. You don't know.
It is built better.
Built for tough.
It is the older ones I think might be a little better, but I think I'm gonna sell these on. Also, luckily, because I would want to crop these, it would actually be above the part where he was. Look at how bad these look.
So I have this theory that you should have to pass a yearly driving test. I think people should do the equivalent of either taking your keys when you're too drunk or taking your keys to your house, period, and doing an eviction notice if they catch you doing shit like that. Because I'm all for modifying your clothes,
Just some people just shouldn't have scissors.
Just like maybe we give you the seam ripper, and if you're really determined, you can cut through your pants with a seam ripper, not on the seams, but it's going to be a lot easier to go on that seam. I don't respect to chickpea 73 on Grailed, because I've never let a garbanzo bean on my face.
He is an absolute sweetie, for the record.
Seems like it. That's just just buy a seam ripper. They're $2 at Michael's Crafts.
I relate to this, like getting something, not liking how it fits,
of course,
wanting to change it immediately, and fucking up. Because I have done that on multiple occasions.
I've done it too.
Because I'm like, I want to wear these are my new jeans. I was planning to wear them tomorrow. I want them to work. And you're just kind of frantic, and you just
of course. We've all done that. Is a rite of passage in the fashion community.
Maybe we shouldn't restrict people. Maybe this is how people learn.
I'm just saying, if you're into fashion in any capacity, a seam ripper is $2, and you will use that thing 3 times in your life, and each time you're gonna go, yeah, it was better than scissors.
I have never once needed a seam ripper, and I don't believe in them.
Michael
Solomon,
you've been into fashion for 13 years, conservatively.
Very conservatively.
Around 17. Fair, good guess.
How old am I?
You're practiced enough to where you could probably do it with a kitchen knife.
But from the start, I don't think you need a seam ripper if you're just
the exception,
gonna be
not
smart.
The norm, Michael. You are a very smart person who I think is neurotic about their clothes enough to not take a scissor to knot the hem.
The trick to undoing a seam without a seam ripper is to cut one thread.
Correct.
And just...
If I was 18 and I've done this and I wanted my jeans to look different, I'm just going to start cutting.
I'm going to start cutting. I used to be at the skate park, or was it the bike park? And, you fuck up a trick, you land, and you, like, rip open the knee of your jeans. And then you just get a knife and you turn them into jorts immediately.
There's a really fun drinking game that we should play where everybody gets jeans. And it's called Dueling Beers. And the way that it works, everybody starts
Do you bet inches of jean?
No. What you do is, if you'd like to duel somebody, they have to accept.
Okay.
If you lose the duel that you initiated, they get to take 2 inches off your jeans. If you lose a duel that you were offered, you lose 1 pair of jeans. And if you turned down a duel, you lose 1 inch. So might as well buck up and give it the shot.
How do you duel?
You walk over to somebody, hand them a beer, say it's time to duel. Or you could be sporting, and say this town isn't big enough for the both of us. By the end of the night, someone's wearing a denim thong, and it's really funny.
Hold on. Do you take it off both legs or just one?
You play with light beers, and you do it on both legs.
But, like a 30-inch inseam, that's going to take 30 or 15 beers.
So you have to understand, people get pretty good at dueling, and the dude that's walking around challenging people who you know you're going to lose to, you just say no. He gets real drunk. At a certain point, he doesn't get very good at chugging beer.
How many people? You need a good amount of people for this to work.
We can make this work.
I would like to do it. I think maybe we should up our numbers.
In the inches that you lose. Maybe just you bet 2, and if you say no, you lose 1. It's 15 beers total.
Yes.
You have to also keep in mind.
What about 1, 2, and 3?
I've got a 33-inch inseam. I mean, you could also show up with a 38-inch inseam.
Yeah, I'm gonna get those Naked and Famous jeans with the 100-inch inseam.
Listen,
but we should do this, but we have to wear you got to wear like some $500 Iron Hearts.
You think we get it sponsored?
What raw denim company would sponsor a drinking event?
Naked and Famous.
Naked and Famous.
We could reach out. It'd be really fun.
It would be really funny.
We could make this a reel and see if they'd buy it. Naked and Famous. I'm willing to get drunk for you. I had a moment on the river where I feared I was becoming an alcoholic. Somebody offered me a beer at 8 a.m, and I said, well, I don't have anything better to do. And I drank that beer.
There is no way on earth I would survive the ordeal you have been
Michael,
through.
I think you would have hit day 3 and had to get medevaced. I love you to death. There's another great game. It's not even a drinking game. You have a big bottle of liquor, and you go take a big sip. You go, is this water? And you hand it to anybody. They have to confirm if it's water. And the way it goes is once you drink, you should probably ask somebody if it's water. And that handle goes all the way around until it's empty, until you're pretty sure it's not water.
That is a drinking game. Or is that just that's not really a drinking game, that's a drinking sequence.
Yeah.
Fun.
That's a good game. It's pretty fun. It's pretty fun.
It's pretty fun.
It's even better when you're doing it with gin, because that's gross. You ever shot gin before?
Yeah.
It's the worst.
I kind of like it.
Michael.
I'm British.
Very fair. You make a good point.
Yep.
So the other thing that I realized is that when I get intoxicated, I get an urge to drive a car.
Sorry.
So bad.
That is no. Sorry. You realized this on the river.
Because there's nothing more fun than being drunk and going fast.
So you've never been drunk behind the wheel of a car,
No.
I assume. Obviously. No. You found out that you would like to based off of rafting.
So rafting is really fun because you're essentially in a U-powered boat.
Mm-hmm. I think that you might find that it's not as fun if you're not doing the activity. Because I learned that
Only one way to find out.
I learned that biking drunk is fun in college.
Oh. I mean, I've seen a lot of people think lime scootering is really fun until their teeth meet the pavement. That's
Yes.
not fun.
No, not fun.
Not good.
There's only one way to find out, I guess.
There's only one way to find out.
What car company would sponsor us drunk?
Mitsubishi. You got it. Listen. You know a crash dummy, right? You know AUG, ASAP Rocky's brand. Here's what I'm proposing. I put on a bunch of AUG, and it's so ugly, I want to crash that car. We do some safety rating tests. Everybody wins because ASAP Rocky gets a video of a human crash dummy. You get to safety rate your cars. I get to live out my live stream.
You should be allowed to do it once.
I think
in a controlled environment.
I think you should be able to do it once. I think it's a good idea until the second time the officer pulls you over and you're like, officer, I've done this before. I was sponsored by Mitsubishi. I got a really good joke, by the way.
What?
With an officer. I can't tell it on the podcast.
Okay,
It's a really
that's fine.
raunchy one.
Okay. My mom listens.
Okay.
Sorry, Mom.
I'm sorry, Nancy.
She's
She's met me. I wonder what she thinks of me.
She says you're very sweet.
Oh, she was really kind to host us.
Yeah.
In a moment of earnestness, your mother is wonderful.
Yeah. She's a nice lady.
She's pretty great.
Pretty great.
I got one more thing I need to talk about.
Talk about it. Speak on it.
Reese Cooper
Reese Cooper.
and Pierce Lepatic. You guys can make a pair of shoes. They sent me one day before I left for the Grand Canyon a pair of Gore-Tex Uggs, which sounds like Reese and Pierce got really drunk. They're like, oh, it's a great idea. Let's put Gore-Tex on the Uggs. Oh my God. That's genius. Right? It doesn't sound off the top of your head like two things that should ever go together. And I got the Uggs and I looked at them and I was like, you know what? Fuck it. I'll put them in the bag, right? Worst case, I'll give them away to somebody or donate them. I was very skeptical, and thank you so much to sending them for me. I think I reserve the right to be skeptical about anything I get. I wore those Uggs every single day on the river I was the only person to not have a single lesion, a single crack, or any sort of discomfort in my feet.
Were they not too hot being furry?
It's a desert, dog. It gets to like 30 something at night.
Fair enough.
They are very comfortable. I got them a half size small, but I think that actually worked to my advantage. I slept in them a couple of nights because my feet were really cold. And they are, as advertised, waterproof, which I didn't think would be good. Reese Cooper, you built a really good shoe to take on a river trip.
Reese Cooper makes outdoor clothes for actually going outdoors in.
Some of it. I think that some of his early stuff was not built to go on the Grand Canyon.
I think the stuff that we got is our COS.
Yes.
So Reese Cooper Outdoor Supply, and that stuff is actually genuinely meant to go outside.
I was really surprised because you hear, and Reese, please give me a minute to quantify this. You hear that a fashion guy is making an outdoor brand, and you're like, there's no way. This is not a good idea. This stuff is not going to hold up. The level of technical ability that it takes to make a functional outdoor piece that will survive a desert for 21 days is quite high. I can't speak to the jackets, can't speak to the pants, I can't speak to the shirts. You guys made a wonderful, incredibly functional pair of shoes that, to be perfectly honest, if those broke and I went on another river trip, I'd buy a pair of those shoes for it in particular.
Hell yeah.
Those are a wonderful pair of shoes. You guys have gotten a ringing endorsement out of me on a pair of waterproof Uggs. That is incredible to me.
Hell yeah.
They held up better than my Salomon hiking boots. They were brand new. I reserve the right to roll that back. None of the Gore-Tex tape is peeling. They got sand in them. They're a pair of low tops. Fine. I have nothing bad to say about the shoes.
Super sick.
I got shit for them. People are like, why are you wearing Uggs? And I was like, sounds like somebody who's not wearing Uggs. Sorry your feet are scabbing over. Sorry your feet are dry and cracking. And mine are luxurious and moisturized in my Reese Cooper Outdoor Supply Gore-Tex Uggs. Then I hit them with the Marty McFly. Your kids are going to love these. I genuinely think if going outdoors continues to be a trend and people actually lean into it, people will want those shoes. They're a really good pair of shoes.
I have seen them popping up. They carry them at Atelier now.
You're kidding.
Which is a strange place to see. I mean, Atelier sort of just ends up with the weirdest mix of clothes you've ever seen. If you wander, and Atelier is a small store. It's like the size of my apartment. If you wander around it enough, you will eventually find something you did not expect to see there. They got back right corner. They have Amiri.
The jeans?
Yes. And Atelier is the goth. It's like the store that carries all the Guides.
Sick. I got nothing bad to say.
But they have Reese Cooper Uggs there.
I think I've shit talked a lot less on this podcast.
Yeah, I think you have some. No,
I think I stood by what I said. I wasn't firing strays, except at those wearing Fear of God bulletproof vests. Those aren't strays.
Yo, I will always remember the time I was in the Lower East Side and I went to the chai tea place that's kind of streetwear oriented. And the guy making the chai tea had on a white t-shirt and then a chest rig with all the with
the tea.
The one, yeah, it's like a white t-shirt and then it's where it's just a little square of fabric right here and then it's buckled all around.
Leaks.
It was probably a Leaks, yeah.
Yeah.
But what does he need that for? At his job.
The tea. You imagine. Oh, you need something to stir?
What does that sound?
That's him opening the Leaks bag.
Oh, because it's Velcro?
Yeah.
Okay.
I like the first one. Oh, your drink's too hot? You need a coaster?
It is so rare for me to, because very often I see non-functional fashion
Correct.
Things that are there and I don't think need to be utilized. I jokingly like to, but not once have I seen someone in a pair of cargo pants and been like, what are you putting in there, buddy? What are you using those for?
What I do in those Devoa pants?
Yeah.
I walk through airport security in Arizona in Phoenix, and I watched as the TSA agent got actively upset with me with the amount of shit I was pulling out of those cargo pants. I took up 4 of the circular bins with the shit that came out of those pants.
I used to show up to parties with handles in my Rick Owens jacket pockets, bottles of wine, a 6-pack in each of the cargo pants pockets.
Party idea. You can only drink what you can fit into the party in a pair of cargo pants.
Oh, I'm winning. Or losing.
You have to drink everything that comes in.
I'm losing.
But you're also winning.
I'm there in a body bag.
You're also winning.
I'm showing up in a body bag, parentheses Rick Owens, and I'm leaving in a body bag, parentheses real.
Love this.
I I see people in cargo pants and I'm not like, what do you need that for? What do you need all that space for? Like,
yeah.
I will allow decorative pockets in that sense. I don't see someone in a pocket tee and think, pocket tees are inherently a little dorky. But it's dorky that they're categorized as their own thing. I don't know. I have thoughts about pocket tees that I need to work on. But I see someone in a chest rig, which is decorative, and I'm like, what do you need that for?
Pocket Bible.
Chicken jockey.
Oh, I forgot about that.
We've stopped doing that one. I'm sorry.
Fuck.
You left and they stopped doing chicken jockey.
Really?
They're still doing Gert.
Yogurt?
Yeah.
Yes.
This shit Gert is still a thing.
What about, was it Gamo?
I don't even remember what no. Well, I still see it a little bit, but not as much.
We should close out.
Okay.
I have a couple of shout outs to send.
Okay.
First, to the store Meat Market.
Shout out.
Phoenix, Arizona.
Fuck yes.
Good fucking store. It's a group of friends that decided to open it.
Yeah. So how long have they been around?
I think only a month or 2.
So this is interesting because when I was in, and I did not realize this, when I was in Arizona and we went there used to be a different vintage store called Meat Market.
Yes,
Swear to God.
No, you've told me about
that I used to go to, and I thought
Yeah.
we were just going to that place again.
Okay.
And then I realized like a week later that the guys we talked to there were like in their 20s, and there's no way that they ran the Meat Market Vintage I went to 10 years ago.
Big shout out to them. They had a really good selection of pretty reasonably priced stuff.
That is where my Cannibal Corpse t-shirt came from.
Store was beautiful. They had some really cool like special vintage stuff that I was actually surprised was up on a wall. Not because it was something normal that they'd stuck up there, but I was like, oh, that's actually pretty rare. Good job, guys. I'd like to send a shout out to everybody I went on that river trip with. Not even if they're listening, but Reed, Sonia, Chris, Mac, Ashley, Ash, Matt, Henry, John, Hippie John, Begrudging Mike. Who else am I forgetting? Jeremy, Carl. I think that's everybody. I'm at 13. Oh, I'm forgetting 2. Fuck.
Are you counting yourself?
Saul. That's 14. I'm missing 2 people. Fuck. Can't, of course. Can't believe I forgot Can't. There's one other person I'm forgetting. I'm so sorry if I've forgotten you.
That's probably the one person who's going to listen to this too.
That's really rough. I'll remember, but I'm so sorry. I got all 4 girls. Okay. Well, sorry if I missed you. I really had a and Josh got it.
Oh, I was going to mention Josh, but I thought you
wonderful, wonderful experience with all of you, and I feel like that was a very important experience for me as a human being. Yeah, that was awesome. Let's do Song of the Week.
Song of the Week.
I am doing a song that they showed me called Dick Down in Dallas.
Dick Down in Dallas.
Which is about a guy talking about or imagining the girl that he wants basically being cuckolded. It's quite funny.
Interesting.
She's getting dick down in Dallas, railed out in Raleigh, getting fucked out in Tennessee. She's getting analed in Austin, butt fucked in Boston. There's more to that song. It is very funny.
Going to follow that theme with McCluskey lightsaber cocksucking blues.
I'm sorry.
You heard me.
Say more on this.
It's a good ass song. That's all.
Okay.
It's from McCluskey Do Dallas.
How do I spell McCluskey?
McLusky.
Okay.
I was going to do
Wait, what's it called?
lightsaber cocksucking
yep,
blues.
That's the one.
But saber is spelt like the British style.
Sabra.
Light sabra. I was going to do Lying is the Most Fun a Girl Can Have Without Taking Her Clothes Off by Panic at the Disco, because that is what I have actually been listening to so much this week.
I got back. I had been really craving listening to Fat of the Land by Prodigy. And if you could imagine, a bunch of river guides from Colorado don't listen to Prodigy. So I've listened to Smack My Bitch Up maybe 40 times. Yeah. It's a great song. Hey, Michael.
Hey, Solomon.
What's the difference between a girl from Bushwick and a hockey puck? Gun to your head, you'd eat a hockey puck. Thank you so much to everybody for listening to this episode of the Pair of Kings podcast. You can find us on Instagram, Twitter, and TikTok at Pair of Kings Pod. You can also subscribe over at herohero.co/PoK. Next week, we are going through and ranking, once again, every single look from the Met Gala. I took 3 or 4 hours today to go through and add notes. That'll be a long episode. We may be joined by Fiona. I am sorry preemptively to Yannick, who has to edit that episode.
Yes.
That is always a heavy one for him, but we appreciate him nonetheless. So if you'd like to support us, basically all of that Hero Hero revenue and then some goes to Yannick. Head over to herohero.co/PoK. I'm your host, Saul Thompson. You can find me on Instagram at Saul Thompson. I'm joined this week by my wonderful co-host.
I am Michael Smith. You can find me on Instagram at Saul Thompson.
And together we are the Pair of Kings podcast, where once a week, every week for the foreseeable future, we are bringing you business as usual, tomfoolery as planned. Have a great Thursday, everybody, if you're listening to this on the Hero Hero, or a Tuesday if you're listening to this not on the Hero Hero, or watching it on YouTube. We'll see you next week with that Hero Hero exclusive episode if you're on the Hero Hero, or a preview if you're not. Love you, everybody.
Bye.